Welcome to the Murali End. My name's Mark Machado. I'm joined by my cousin across the pond, the Professor of Cryptology, Dominic Machado. We're joined you minutes after England have won the third T20 against Sri Lanka in Sri Lanka. It's been a pretty disasterful series for Sri Lanka. We're going to discuss everything that's happened. We're going to discuss how Sri Lanka ended up restricting England to 128 runs, but failing to chase that and get bowled out for 116. We'll talk about the series slightly widely. We'll talk about the fact that Kaminda, who wasn't even in the squad for this tour, for this T20 part of the series, ended up playing this match, and we'll also open the floor up to you guys to comment. Tell us what you think. The World Cup starts in just 5 days' time. The Murali End will be with you for every step Sri Lanka take in that World Cup, though at this point in time, it doesn't seem like there'll be too many steps. So we'll have a chat for about 10 minutes or so. Then you guys can come and join us. If you're waiting for the intro song, that will come in about 10 minutes when we kind of reconfigure everything. We're still trying to work things out and suss things out, much like Sri Lanka's T2011 as well, Dom, hey?
We come on here after every match and we try to say something new and different, but this has got to be a low point. This has got to be a real low point, right? Your bowlers perform really well on a pitch that's conducive to spin and turn, and you just cannot chase 129 down. Your captain looks in total shambles against any form of spin. Stupid shot decisions, bad game time decisions. There's so many things that happened that were abjectly terrible. And, I think in some ways it's a fitting way to lead into the World Cup.
Today's a tough one, right? Because you think home World Cup, you look at that 11 and you're like, most of us, I think, thought this was closer to the 11. To our kind of strongest 11, playing to our strengths than we've seen in a little while. Pretty stoked Kamindu's in there. Obviously, Hasaranka, we know, is a game changer and a match winner for us. He's not there because he's going to get what's he getting? An abscess in his armpit removed. That's according to Rex Clementine, which I assume, I don't know why Rex would lie about that, so I assume that's true. And you kind of think this is good. It starts so well for us. So many things, though, right? We're struggling to read pitches. This has been a problem for a while, and even when we've got an advantage, which we should have done, coming into this, we kind of had a bit of a reputation for chasing. This is the first time we've chased in this T20 series, and it just didn't work out for us today. But a lot of that was our own kind of man-made issues as well, right? I can sit here and say it didn't work out for us. Shot selection and reading off the ball just seems to be totally off. And it doesn't make sense because this is our home ground. These are our pitches.
Well, this is the thing that is frustrating. The two guys who could actually read it, which were Potham and Kusal, got out to shots that they shouldn't have played. It's frustrating. I say that. At the same time, if you're playing T20 cricket, those are shots that you sometimes do take, but they cannot because everything is going to crumble around them if they don't. And it was just sad to see Jonathan Lianage, another one, right? The lack of quality, the lack of ability to score. England didn't have much to show. They had one Sam Curran innings. That's it. And that was enough to pull them over the line. That's how bad the batting was. It is unbelievably frustrating. And I think, how many times does a lineup full of batters have to collapse in order for them to realize that stacking a lineup full of batters is not actually the solution to arresting collapses?
I have absolutely no idea what's going to happen next few weeks. It's almost like I kind of feel like maybe it might be helpful if they just stop tinkering with it. There's so much uncertainty around our squad and our team. You kind of don't know what's going to happen, right? So I kind of think now we're just going to roll with it, kind of hope some performances come in. somebody will be saying, screaming at the scorecard, going, if Kamal Mishra made any runs, we would have won today. If Patton or Kissel stuck about for another over or two, we would have won today. I can't think of another moment where we've been so reliant on kind of 2 or 3 players having to score runs. I know you could go back to kind of the peak years 2010 to 2015 and kind of, you know, in white ball cricket, there was maybe 3 players there where you thought, right, one of them was going to come through. But even that, the rest of the side had a bit more about them than these guys do. Today was should have been the day Liana Gay put his hand up and said, I'm undroppable. Sunuda's written, only one he could read the ball is Kissel Mendes, bro, was playing well and got out playing a rash shot. But again, can you blame Patton and Mendes for this? They can't score 30 plus every day, right? I think that's the sadness, right?
Just someone put up your hand. Just someone.
Yeah. Anyone. This is a good comment here from Manic. Captaincy switch turned out to be a big joke. It's kind of not worked out for Dustin, has it?
Okay. It is so ridiculous. You know, he is a much better player than he showed today. That's the thing that is so frustrating. Okay, if you actually can't play spin, that's one thing. And he has struggled against spin, but he shouldn't be this bad against spin. It is unbelievably upsetting and poor. And you know, I was looking forward to talking about Dushmantha Chamira and this bowling lineup, and looking forward to talking about, well, what happens when Indu comes back? You can switch him in for Jonathan Lianagay, and then all of a sudden you have a bowling lineup that looks really bonkers. I was excited to talk about Matisha Patirana and how good he's gotten, right? Like, he's upskilled. I guess that's the one positive I'm taking away, is that for the next decade, Sri Lanka cricket is going to be in good hands with him bowling the white ball.
Yeah, I mean, what a weird series in general, right? What a kind of strange series. You go to this and you just think there's no way, there's just no chance that England are going to win this series, and then they do. They do it out of cancer. They basically don't need to break sweat the whole thing.
And we gave it just look. How many times were we in front in all of those matches, and then we just bollocksed it?
But basically, the minute we leave the power play in almost all the games, roughly, and I know some matches it's slightly later than that, but the minute we get out of batting our power play, it all just starts to fall apart, doesn't it?
Yep.
And this is a problem. I was lying in bed this morning thinking about it, and this is a problem that we had 4 years ago, so like 2 World Cups ago, and we still haven't addressed. This, I don't really feel there's been any attempt to address it. On the show, I think 2 days ago, after the second ODI, second T20, I just need to get a message up that someone had sent me, because I'd said that I believe that Kamindu should be in ahead of Charith, because I felt Kamindu finds the boundary a bit more often. And Johan Lord messaged me on Instagram. I haven't even got back to him. He did message me at 4:43 in the time zone I'm in the morning. That's why I haven't. He said Kamindu 101 innings, 206 falls, 67 sixes. Asalanka 157 innings, 232 falls, 138 sixes. Kamindu hits more falls per game, but Asalanka hits more sixes per game. So actually, with the batting, there kind of doesn't feel like there's much between the two. I do think, though, that we did see with Kamindu's bowling today that actually he's just got more variations because he can bowl with both hands, and that causes a bit more issues. So for me, I do think, result aside, that Kamindu kind of medium term at least is the kind of should be in over Asalanka if that is the decision that's being made. Obviously, at this point in time, neither of them are captain as well. So, but that's a kind of relatively new thing, isn't it?
Yeah. I think it's a lot to take in. I think we don't know how to react to this because no matter what situation we find ourselves in, we always find a way to collapse. I think the Kamindu versus Charith issue is kind of almost like a distraction. It's like, oh well, if we switch this one guy in, it'll be different. I think what you kind of, and I've said this for a long time, basically, to win this not win this tournament, to advance out of the first round, let's just be honest here. What they need is for Kusal and Potham to show up and for their bowlers to bowl well.
Yeah.
And that's basically what they can count on right now. And everything else is more or less window dressing. I won't believe that these guys can score runs against top caliber bowling till I see it. I think that their game management.
Can I just add to that? I think that we are able to score runs against top caliber bowling. The problem is we're not able to build an innings against a bowling attack. So I think if we're going to find associate teams who've got like one gun bowler, right? I think all they'll do is just try and see them off and then pick off the other bowlers, right? Where the problem comes, someone had put, there's a message here that is just so pertinent. Where Taruka's written, it's bad. Bethel and Jacks have taken 7 wickets, right? I mean, bless them, Bethel and Jacks. Jacob Bethel must love coming to Sri Lanka because he looks like a surfer from the south coast, and he's having a time of his life. He's scoring runs and he's picking up wickets. He's not the kind of bowler that the figures he's picking up in the last 3 games would suggest he is. Will Jacks, again, the same, right? They shouldn't be the type of bowlers who are causing full international experienced Sri Lankan players who are about to go to a World Cup, the kind of issues that they're causing them. Sorry, Dom, I threw you off.
No. I mean, I'm at a loss for words. Like, how do you even describe this, right? The way that, the talent is there, the skill is there, and they're not doing it. It's mental at this point, and I'm terribly fearful for this game on Sunday to see what happens against Zimbabwe, which is a no joke side.
Is it not Ireland first? Have we not got Ireland first?
Oh, is it Ireland first?
Yeah.
Hold on.
But again, I just think any team which is full of full-time internationals, which Ireland and Zimbabwe are, it's a banana skin for us, right? We have they're international players. We have absolutely no right to believe that we are just going to win these games by turning up. We need to put performance in with bat and with ball, and that at this stage, that is kind of marginally worrying. Dom, we've been nattering on for about 13 minutes. Shall we open up the studio? We'll play the intro. We'll reconfigure ourselves, and I'll put the studio link in as well. So if you want to come and join us, please do. Because as you can tell, Mark and Dominic Machado are currently lost for words on what to say.
It's the Murali End. You're in the place to be. Analyze the players and the team. Keep a great company in the stream.
It's a Murali End. Welcome to the show. We're here when you're high. We're here when you're low. Some days you're happy, some days you wanna when happy it's we, when mad it's them. It's the same place, Murali End. Sri Lanka cricket we gon' represent. So tell a friend.
Yeah, do come and join us. The link's in the description. You can also, Dineth is backstage. You can also join the Murali End WhatsApp channel as well. I'll put the link for that in the description again at some point, or in the comment section at some point. Manik has made a point. Do you want to read it out?
Hey, cuz Bethel has only taken 4 international wickets prior to this game, and he took 3 in basically the game deciding over. Unbelievable.
Incredible. Dineth has joined us. Dineth, how you doing, bro? How you feeling after today?
It was, it was whatever. Um, yeah, I'm not sure why I came on. I'm about as lost for words as you guys are, so I'm not sure how much help I am.
J2792 has said it's Murali's End here. We're here when you're low. We're here when you're lower. I kind of hope this is the rock bottom, right? I think like sometimes with Sri Lanka, you need to go like it's you need to go low before you can go high, right? You need to drag yourself along the bottom of the ocean before you get picked up. I'm trying to reach for something.
That's the best metaphor, though.
Like it's today was just something else, though. Dennis, have you got much else going on outside waiting for this World Cup to happen to brighten up your day? I mean, like, what's the social scene like where you are? What's the weather like? I know you and Dom aren't that far from each other. I know it's quite cold there.
Beautiful day today, nice sunny day. Yeah, I'm gonna try and party it up in the weekend. Forget about all my goals. Okay, now I mean, look, we should talk about the game a little bit. There were some positives to take away, right?
Yeah.
I think the bowling performance was pretty good, right? Samir looked really good in his return, and maybe that's about it.
What about Natisha? Tell me your thoughts on Tell me your thoughts
he bowled really well. Yeah, he's looking like he's only like 22, 23. He's gonna become like an amazing, incredible bowler for us one day. It's really unfortunate that we lost Malinga, but it's also good to see Chamir back in the fold. I think we did miss Hasaranga. I mean, I know he didn't perform that well in the second T20. Maybe he could have tried to. It seemed that this pitch had more average turn than the last two games because it's a bit more tired. So he would have probably had some effect. One thing I was just thinking of was the highest score that we had this series, like Pavan's 40.
Yeah.
Was that?
Yeah.
That has to mean something, right? Like I know that T20 is about having a big strike rate and intent and everything, but like there is, particularly today, there was a need to kind of go on, and there's been a lot of talk about our players playing spin, and in terms of the footwork, I think Patum Nisanka's like wicket to Dawson, he didn't move his feet at all.
Mm-hmm.
Like hitting, and similarly, I think Kusal Mendes has been getting to the pitch of the ball well. Pavan has been doing that somewhat. Even Kamindu, you kind of saw a bit more confidence in getting to the pitch of the ball. But yeah, I mean, giving Will Jacks and Jacob Beckham like 7 wickets. Like there was a point at which the commentator basically said, like, throwing the white flag. And I'm a chess player. I've been playing chess for like 10 years. When you play chess, you resign at a certain point, right? Because it's like the respectful thing to do. It almost felt like that was in order here. It's just kind of embarrassing to say, honestly.
Yeah, like I bring this analogy up a lot, right? But it's like watch the Harlem Globetrotters, but we're all turned up and we're supporting the team they're playing against. Was it the Washington Cardinals or who? I can't remember what the team they play against is called.
Yeah, Washington Senators. Yeah, I think
Senators, right? And it's like today. I mean, I know Sri Lanka's famous for hospitality, but come on, man, this is taking the mick a little bit. It was like we put on such a like if you look back at this series, it's like when we've batted well, we've bowled badly. When we've bowled badly, we've batted well, and we just kind of can't put it all together. Today, though, you kept thinking, even like basically until Shanaka got out, I was like, we can do this. Like we've got this. Like we can. This can happen for us. I still kind of can't like. We just need one of these. Someone to put their hands up. The problem is as well, right? Is I can see I can see the cycle that we are now almost all of us are like part of creating, because it's like we want them to play with intent. We want them to have a go. We want them to play outside themselves. We don't want them to go at 6-7 runs and over. Or we don't want them to try to bowl just to contain, right? So the problem is when they're playing with intent and they lose wickets. At this stage, now you could argue they've had 3 games of playing with really good intent and not winning games. So, and now we're all down. So maybe I'm like thinking we've just got to kind of back them and go, keep going, guys, keep going.
I mean, that's all we can do, right?
At this point. I do think though there's kind of like a kind of skills gap here that is almost been manufactured by ourselves, I say ourselves, not us lot who just watch the team, but by like the management, because they're not going, why can't we get more effective at scoring runs of spin? Why are we so ineffective at scoring runs of spin? Like, why is our middle order just absolutely slowing down? As I said earlier, these are problems that have been there for so long, and no one seems to be addressing them. All of us lot basically just watch the team, and from watching it, we can see it. Surely they can see it. Surely the people who run it can see it. Dennis, I'm going to leave you on. I'm going to bring Minura up as well, because I think is this the first time joining the show, Minura?
Yes, actually.
Yeah, thanks.
I've been
Thanks,
watching you guys all for a longer time. But
Oh,
this was the first time, yeah.
Wicked. Where are you joining us from?
I'm from Canada.
Oh, wicked.
Oh, awesome.
Ontario.
Oh, good
Yeah.
man. Good man. Are you a Raptors fan? Oh.
Yeah. So it's another pretty disappointing outing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, imagine you come to work and just in order to make you make yourself like little stress, and then what these guys are doing, you just
I know.
like run a ball game, right?
Yeah,
Come on, it's just
you're totally right about the stress. I felt that I was texting Mark. I was like, my stress level is just going up, and I thought this was going to be easy and less stressful. But
yeah. So this is like from 2015 onwards, like still we are waiting for this moment. Actually, every time they are going to give the we all always have that hope that these guys are going to do it in the World Cup, right?
yeah,
But still, like 1 week away from the World Cup, even the way our boys bowled today, so it was like quite impressive. Mainly the fast bowlers, like Patirana, it's pretty much impressive. Like we have some hope in terms of bowling. Why don't we like? I don't know why. Actually, now the main problem with Janit Lienege, what his role is. So either we are going to destroy him, like he's a very good batter. So why do we destroy him? Like, okay, let him keep let him stay in the like squad, no problem. So we have Kamidu out there, and also Vanidu is gonna come, and then why don't we replace Vanidu with Lienage? So then we do have that 5 bowlers option as well. We don't know. Today we bowled really well. Maybe in the next game with Ireland, maybe like Chamira might get hit for like more runs, right?
Yep.
And then what can we do?
Yeah,
with 4 bowlers, we can't.
I think you're absolutely right. You got to play 5 bowlers, and because playing 7 batters has not helped our batting, right? That's why you play more batters. It's not as if we're scoring 250 runs because we're playing 7 batters. Whatever we do, we're not scoring, so we might as well back the bowling a little bit.
Yeah, and one thing also, like in terms of captaincy, the bowling changes. I think last outing that Nick was mentioning about that. So in the power play, Chamira bowled a beautiful over in the first over, and then Chanaka bowled another good over, and then it's a good option that they bring Patirana and get a wicket too. And then again, you should bring Chamira, right? He's the best bowler out there. You should have that kind of a mindset that we have to attack. Now we have to go for another wicket. And look what happened. Like he bowled himself again, Chanaka. So then it's just like for the new batter, it will be like, okay, this is going to be a part time, no problem. Imagine you're facing the best ball of Sri Lankan attack, and it's a different mindset, right? You have to come up with those things are things that we like that will win you games, right? Main games in the, like, let's say you're going to the semis, you're going to the quarterfinals, you're going to the finals, in the biggest stages with the biggest opponents. These are the things that we should like concern that. So this is like very poor captaincy as well. I don't think this is the way that we should be going in. Everything is not going to go like, even from the selections, players are being cut off and then bring him back. What the hell? What is this? This is getting worse. Like we saw that 2024 this was happening, and then now this is going worse than that. It's pretty disappointing.
Look, we can't have a worse outcome than that. So that at least that's the positive. We didn't get out of the first round that time. We can't do worse than that. So
I just want to pick up on the Dustin Sharnaker point about when he bowls his overs, right? Because I feel really bad for him. Okay, regardless of, and I know Colombo's awash with different stories about how he's become captain or whatever. It almost at this stage, 5 days out from World Cup, it doesn't matter. He's the captain now. At this point, we just got to rally behind him, right? I think I feel bad for him because I see him having to bowl. So he comes into this match knowing he's got to bowl at least 2 overs, right? So he's thinking, where do I get my 2 overs from? So I think the mentality is, let's get there's a bit of self-preservation comes in because he's thinking, if I don't bowl these overs now and I have to bowl them at the overs 17 and 19 or 18 and 20, that's when people get really furious at him, right? Because if he gets those wrong, that's when the game goes out. So I can kind of understand how he's ended up in that position. But I just feel there was a comment after after the first T20 where someone was like, well, Sharnaker's got to bowl those overs. It doesn't matter if he bowls during power play. But I was like, the one thing that about a cricket game is that you've got to bowl those power play overs. What does it feel like we're making those decisions on the pitch? I don't know if they are. I don't know if they're making them 2-3 days before or in the team meetings before that. But it just feels to me like they make these decisions. So many of decisions are like, oh, we've got to bowl over 18. We've got to bowl death overs now. Who can do it? Do you know what I mean? It's like they're looking around going...
And the other thing, Mark, choosing to bowl Sharnaker when you have Deekshana also in the side, who is... that's one of his specialties, is bowling with the new ball. Right. And to not give him overs after you brought him into the side is surprising there. And again, this is another reason to go with 5 bowlers, because I think that's weighing on everybody's mind. Where does the 5th bowler's overs come from? And that becomes the priority rather than how do we actually take wickets.
I also... Oh, sorry, go on, Manura, go for it.
Yeah, and even with Vanidu, let's say Vanidu is here, he's a good bowler. He's gonna take lots of wicket out there. I'm pretty sure about that. But still, he's gonna be expensive. But even the tail enders can hit him for a 6.
Mm-hmm.
That's the thing. So he has become a lot of way predictable. I don't know. So in that way, we do have bowlers like them. Even Pathirana might be expensive late in the tournament. So because they are going to look what they did for the Pawan. So they have analyzed him well. So it was a bit unlucky. It was a day like that. So what can we do? He has done pretty well out there. But for me, in terms of how these guys are batting, I know Pawan is not a like replacement for a T20 format, but still he's a good outing in terms of the way that these guys are playing. It's pretty bad. So in that way, Pawan at 4 would be nice, and also we need a pretty much 5 bowlers option. 6-5 is the best combo. You can go see Prad, who was our ex-analyst. So these guys were there when we were winning the Asia Cup 2022, right? So that's sort of outing every time. What he's saying is 6-5 combo is the way to go. This is the way all the everyone out there, all the big countries, those guys are playing like that. So why are we sticking to the instincts? This is not the way this modern cricket is going. So we have to go beyond this. I think for me, I think Sanath is pretty outdated to be the coach of Sri Lankan cricket. Yeah. Yep. Go ahead. Yeah.
I just think it's kind of such a shame that kind of we got to this. I mean, it doesn't you don't need to watch that much to figure out what's going wrong. I think today was a day, really. If Sri Lanka were going to win it, today would have been a great day for Lianage to nail his place down, right? If he had scored 40, even if he'd got up 44, 36, 37, a very slow strike rate and got us over the line, then I think you can kind of justify his place in the side, right? Now, you look at this side and you're like, all right, they actually contained England with the bowling. And if you could get Hasaranga in there, then that gives us a power hitting option and a like another 4 good overs, because you kind of feel between Lianage and Sri Lanka, the feeling is that there's 4 overs of seam if needed between that, right? But Hasaranga's pretty much taking wickets on every deck that he's played across South Asia, so you kind of think he should be kind of all right. I kind of feel like, you know, with one eye on the World Cup, that if you put Hasaranga into this side for Lianage, I actually think that's pretty much about as strong as Sri Lanka can be. Maybe you might think about switching Theeksna and Manishankar, depending on
Definitely.
On the pitch, depending on knowing our lot, though, and knowing the way we've been going about it recently, we'll end up misreading the pitch and bring Dilshan onto the a slow turning pitch, and Manishankar onto a seam, and Theeksna onto a seaming pitch or whatever. But like, as the disappointment today, I think, is that we should have won. Like we did so much of the hard work to get ourselves into like a winning position, and even after, you know, just going back, we were 68 for 2 or something at one point, and you're like, even at that point, 62,
at the halfway, at 9 overs, you're ahead of the rate, and you've got lots of wickets to spare. That's like 95% of the time you're going to win that game.
Even at 90 for 5, you think like you should probably go on and get those 30 odd runs that you need, right?
17 for 17. They even, you know, when before Will Alligate got out, they needed 17 from 17. Again, elementary, right?
Yeah. I just wonder, if you look at the way we're kind of lost these 3 games, how much of it is just what the feeling is in the camp, and how the players feel, and if the players think like this is just a totally lost cause. I don't know. Should we bring Kai on? Kai, you've been waiting backstage.
There are a couple of KJP questions that I think are worth taking here.
Pavan has asked, the middle order is shambolic, experimenting the middle order before the T20 World Cup is so bad. Like, where's KJP? He's performing in the Asia Cup, dropping the team for Mishra is simply clueless. Then Amanda's asked, what are your thoughts of bringing Crystal Pereira as a pinch hitter in the middle order? For me personally now, I don't think that KJP is a player. I mean, he's had the strangest career of possibly all kind of Sri Lankan players ever. So maybe he is. I was going to say, I don't think he's the kind of player that's going to come in and win us a World Cup. His hitting, he can definitely hit the ball, and he's, you know, when he's on fire, he's fantastic. But I don't know whether he's the kind of person who can come in at this point, because to me, he's just a bit too inconsistent at this stage of his career. And whatever way you look at it, I mean, I'm sure you know, nobody apart from maybe Crystal Pereira and Sada think that Crystal Janath Pereira is going to be in the squad for a longer time than Kamal Mishra. Kamal clearly can clear the boundary and is kind of figuring out international cricket at this point. He's still quite young. But he looks quite promising. I mean, the most Sri Lankan thing to do in the world would be to drop Kamal and for us not to see him for like 4 years' time, and then for them to bring him back when he looks a shell of the man he currently is now, and him not to be able to hit a cricket ball ever again. That would be the typical Sri Lankan way of doing it. But I think maybe let's try and break this cycle with this guy. Kai, thanks for joining us today. How are you feeling about that performance?
Pretty low, considering I was trying to watch it throughout the day while I was at school, wherever I could. And you want to see what you can of it. And it's just like, I was fuming. Oh my God, that Darshan Shanaka dismissal, I've never been more angry in my life. I just don't know what the shot choice was. Like, he's come down the track and he's like going to hit him, but like he's not even played a shot, is it really? He's just kind of played. I just don't know what he was doing. He looks clueless. Lianage's dismissal was really bad. Community Mendes got a decent ball, but like he should have picked it. It's an arm ball from Will Jacks, who couldn't land it in Australia. Then what else was there? I also don't understand why our tailenders can't bat like whatsoever. Like no other team in the world has this issue with our tailenders. Like what's going on that they literally look like they've never faced a cricket ball in their life? Think about England. Like Mark Wood, Jofra Archer, they've made consistent 50s. They can hit a long ball. They can give it the long handle, right? But like we're just incompetent. Like genuinely feel like we're incompetent when we come to batting. Like when was the last time we put like a 200 plus score up? We don't do it. India scored 270. How are we meant to compete with these teams? And like I was thinking, right? Look at the strike rate of our batters. Like Pavan is seen as a fast scorer in our team, right? He should be our anchor. That should be the only anchor we have.
Yep.
Like why is
that's
Pavan?
what Will Jacks was like.
Should be the anchor,
right?
right?
Hair off.
Why is he like our fastest scoring batter? Like think about like most other teams openers strike at like 150. Kamil Mishara, I'm not sure about. I know there's like varying opinions on him. I feel like he needs to work on his game and come back. He doesn't have the leg side hitting at the moment. He also doesn't like his technique to me doesn't seem sound when it comes to like hitting a long ball, right? He times it, but like he almost like he's quite wristy, right? And he feels like an ODI player to me or like a test player, opposed to someone like I know he can hit the odd six, but like they tend to be like orthodox shots. Like he's hitting like a straight dive for six or he's like clubbing a short ball. Doesn't feel like he's like slogging across the line or like I know they're like ugly shots, but that's what brings you big boundaries, right? He's not hitting those mammoth six. He's not coming down and like smashing them around. Like he doesn't seem to have like I spoke about it last week, but like certain batters have an arc. Like when you hit, like I know when I bat, you feel it because you get your front foot out and you clear your front leg, and that's the batting arc, right? For hitting. And we don't seem to have that archetype in our team. And I think we need to start looking elsewhere. And I think it's partly the fault of SLC for not running LPL because we don't know what other talent looks outside of like this 15, 25 players maybe, right?
You say that, Kai, but when they run LPL, it's all the old guard get games. Like youngsters don't play in the LPL. They're like who was it? I think it's Walalagate. No. There's one of this 11 has played like 3 matches. It might be Kamindu actually has played like 3 matches in the LPL. And you're like
Naika as well. He batted at 9.
Yeah, for the candy, right? I can remember.
Yeah. So I like with Camel. The reason why I'll defend them for the moment, like at this point, is because they kind of took the risk by putting, tearing apart the only thing that worked for our batting, which was Patam and Kussel at the top of the order, to bring him in. I think they wanted to do that because it gave the left-right combination. I also think by doing that, it kind of extended the order a little bit, and it kind of put like Kussel's like an insurance card, right? It's like if you get an early wicket, you know that he's coming in and he should be kind of all right. Well, I just think Camel shows the intent, right? And the reality is with T20 batting is that Sri Lankans are having to learn it at the international level. We are, whatever domestic T20 cricket they're playing, it's either, I think they're playing against too many bowlers who are rubbish or who just are too far off the international pace. I don't want to call them rubbish. I feel bad for saying that. And they don't need to score or be as innovative in the way that they're scoring. Their footwork doesn't need to be as good. They don't need that. They can kind of rock back in the crease and find the boundary. Where at international level, I think it's almost like they're playing a different game. So I think you've got to. The idea is you put him in if you think he has the potential to be a top batter, and I think this isn't just a Sri Lankan problem. This is a problem that you see all around the cricket world. It's not just having the actual skill to be able to do it; it's having the mentality to be able to do it. And when I see Kamil Mishra come into bat and he has that bit of swag and he has that bit, his hair's all dyed and all that, you're like, this guy thinks he's born to be here. Whether or not he is what he's going to show us. But he thinks he's meant to be playing international T20 cricket. He thinks he's meant to be playing in the IPL. He thinks he's may be playing. It's up to him now to go, right, they've opened up this gap between Patam and Kussel for me to play my game. I've got to go away and learn it and develop it the way we've seen Patam do that over the last few years. I think for us, unless they change something domestically, we just aren't going to be producing. It's a 1 in a million hit to try and produce a player who's perfectly right for T20 cricket. like the way Pavan Ratnayake got out today was quite interesting, right? Because if he'd gone on to win the game, then the whole of Sri Lanka is talking about him for the next, because he'll probably score runs against Ireland and he should score runs against Zimbabwe as well. And then he suddenly becomes like the guy, but then he's going to come unstuck when he plays against Australia, right? So again, he's another player like Camel, where it's like he's just got to he's got to figure it out. He's got to learn international cricket, and the only way to do it is just by getting out there and doing it. And I see so many players. There's so many times someone will pick up a game. It'll be like, "Oh, do you remember that series against New Zealand? Or do you remember this guy who played? Some guy who played for Sri Lanka, like eight T20 games and 5 ODIs?" And you're like, "Oh yeah, I forgot about that guy." And you go back and look at it, and you're like, "Oh yeah." Obviously, the selectors have absolutely, he's an opening batter who they've put into bat at like number 7. Yeah. He's batting with the tail order, and he's suddenly he's come in after a collapse like today, and he's all over the place, and then you don't see him ever again. Sri Lankan cricket sets people up to fail. So that's why I just think that just back Camel and back Pavan to try and, and they'll, hopefully they'll get to that level. Look, we might be here this time next year, they might not have improved, and then at which point we'll be saying, okay, there's other players that maybe we need to have a look at as well.
Yeah, I was just going to say, I think with Mishara, I want to see him brought into the test side. And I think Pavan should stay in the T20 side. He's a super talented player, right? But I think the issue with having both of them in the same team alongside Liana Gay, I think Kamindo Mendes, I was talking about technique, right, for hitting. Kamindo Mendes, not necessarily the perfect archetype, but he's got enough there to do it. It's more just like a technical thing, right? So different batters have different kind of technical, like you can see. And I feel like when I see Mishara bat, it's almost like when he has the intent, but he needs to either go away and like completely change his like technique for hitting. And you see it, right? You see it even in like, it's not like a physical thing, but like players like Hardik Pandya and kind of even like a Sanju Samson, Abhishek Sharma, Sanat Jayasuriya, all these players, right? They kind of like, you can see like there's something about like, even when they played test or ODI format, certain players have like a certain kind of technical, like, I don't know, I'd say traits which allow them to hit like a long ball. And I just don't see that in Mishara at the moment in the way that he kind of lines up to hit the ball, because he like doesn't necessarily like, he almost wants to play with like a high elbow and like get over it rather than use his like shoulders and use his like rotation of the hips to get through it and hit, if that makes sense. Yeah. So that's like a technical thing. Like, I'm not saying he can never be there, but I think he needs to kind of work on it, or at least like, I want to see like that come out in him more, because I feel like at the moment I've not seen him like change his technique, because he seems like he's still like, he wants to hit. You're right, he's got the intent, but when you're trying to hit the orthodox shot with intent and you don't clear it, clear the rope, like there's clearly like a technical issue there, right?
Yeah. I mean,
hold on, Dom. I just want to move the conversation on a little bit, because we're going to turn our attentions to the World Cup. On Murali End, we're going to have a big preview of the World Cup on Thursday. And we've got Anton Rue, the former Sri Lanka, he was involved with the coach in the team and knows some of the players quite well. He was involved in the Asia Cup. He's coming on to have a chat with us as well. I was going to ask Dennis before, because I know Dennis got to go. What I think now we've got to ask ourselves, what is a good World Cup for Sri Lanka, right? At this stage, what do you think is acceptable? And you don't need to be a Sri Lankan parent and say you need to win the World Cup to be acceptable. Like what is a good level? Where do you think you'd be okay? We've done all right.
I think comfortably getting out of the group stage is good. Like, we comfortably win our games against the associate teams. We lose against Australia, but we play well against them. And then we qualify to the next, whatever it is, like Super 8 or whatever, I don't know the format. And then in that format, we win maybe like a game or two, but we don't qualify. And like just showing some bit of spirit, no ugly collapses and no embarrassing defeats. And I think that would be a reasonably, I would be content with that, given the flurry of changes that have been made in the administration, in the team composition, in the management, over the past week, right? So
Yeah. I think that sounds about sensible. Dineth, I'll let you go. Thank you for joining us today, and
Should we
hopefully
ask
get you
Minoru
back.
and Kai about this? The same question.
Yeah. Minoru, look, what would you think is a good World Cup for Sri Lanka? What's your kind of minimum expectations now?
Yeah, with this combination, and if they're going to play the same 11, it'll be a group stage outing like last time. But if they are going for a 6-5 combo, definitely they can reach the semis. I'm pretty sure they could, because if you have 5 bowlers out there who are very star, like Vanidu, Chamira, Patirana, and also Velalage, and either Tishana or Madhushankar, it'll be, in a way, I'm sorry to say this, Ishan Malinga, it's pretty unfortunate, but in a way it may be an spotlight for Sri Lanka, if in case, because now Dilshan Madhushankar can get in. A left armer is always special, I believe. Even with the bunch we do have that kind of a play. Get out from the Lianage aspect, bring Vanidu in place of number 7, and then we can, because in Super 8 we have England, South Africa, and Pakistan, which is obviously we can compete very hard. Not like India is there, Australia is there, and also New Zealand, which where we lack when in terms of competitive cricket. Even in last 2-3 years, we've been not doing well against those 3 oppositions. But these 3 oppositions, we definitely can win 2 matches out there with Vanidu in as number 7. Otherwise, forget about it. We are going to lose for Zimbabwe definitely with this team. That's my prediction.
I hope they heed your advice. Minoru, we'll let you go as well today, man. Thank you for joining us.
It's nice.
Come back and join us again soon. Thanks a lot, man. And
hopefully we can chat happy. Every day.
Yeah, I know. I just
disappointed.
I'm desperate for a win. If we get a win, we'll get the Arak out and everything, man. It's going to be amazing. Right, I'll let you go. Thanks for coming on. Kai, what about you? Same question to you. What do you think is the minimum kind of standard you require for to not be upset by this side?
I don't know. I guess get out of the groups. Maybe get 2 wins in the Super 6 is, isn't it? Internet working? Oh, frozen. But yeah,
you seem live to me. You haven't frozen.
Oh yeah,
me.
sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry, it keeps freezing. I can't tell if I'm.
No, you're good.
Live or not.
You're good.
Yeah. So I guess get out of the Super 6s. Get through the group stages into the Super 6s. Get 2 wins or something like that would be good. To be honest, I'm not really sure. We get there. We seem dreadful at the moment. We can't bat 20 overs, which is woeful. And I agree that we need a left arm seamer, and I don't know if Dilshan Madhushankar is the man in T20 cricket, because he's more suited. I don't know if he has the skill set with the slower ball and the cutters yet. But
hey, you remember how he took Rohit Sharma's wicket in that game against India, right?
Yeah, I do remember that, but I just don't know if the skill set's there, right? For it's a good point. Banura.
Yeah, Sanuda wrote, "Are we forgetting Banura, who's just come off an unbelievable BPL as well?" It's the sad thing about the way we've performed the last 3 games, I think, is that I know we keep saying this, but on some ways we've never had as much strength and depth as we've had in Sri Lanka at the moment. It used to be, even in the glory days, it used to be kind of there was 8 or 9 world-class players, and there was a bunch of about 5 or 6 players that you had to pick depending on what you needed to achieve, who you were playing, and what the pitches were going to say. But now I look at it there's 11 good bowlers in Sri Lanka, We've never had that. We've never had this kind of strength and depth. It's just a shame that yet again, it's World Cup Eve, and we've turned up with exactly the same issues, if not in some ways more acute than the issues we were experiencing 4 years ago. And I think that is ultimately what's kind of a little bit tragic about the whole thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
100%.
Can I add that?
Yeah.
Australia does look beatable. I mean, say what you want about this SL side, and it has lots of flaws, but they really struggled against Pakistan in Pakistan. They didn't eclipse, I think, 150 in batting, and they really, really struggled. So I think that does help. It's not like, okay, this is a guaranteed loss should we play Australia in the opening round. So it's going to be tight. My prediction, and we'll talk more about this, is that the games are going to be tighter than we would like them to be, but we'll see what happens.
Guys, we're going to wrap this up now. It's almost been an hour, not quite. If we could do us a favor though and tell everyone about the Murali End, tell people what you do, what we do. You can tell people what you do as well. That's always good for you guys. Tell people that we'll be here minutes after every game, analysing it, talking about it, opening it, the floor up for you guys to come on and have a chat with us. Look, I don't know what's going to happen to Sri Lanka. Like, we all know, like, this is a place where miracles inhabit, right? We could have a miracle the next few weeks. The whole reason about being a sports fan is you always believe and you always think. I'm absolutely devastated about the result today, but I look at this squad and I see so much talent, and I just think, do you know what? It could happen. It absolutely could happen for us the next few weeks. So stick with us. At least we've all got each other, right? Like, whatever happens, we can always come on and we can vent and we can cry and we can laugh and we can, get through this together. Just spare a thought for people like myself and Kai, who live in London, who live in England, and I don't need to go to school. I think Kai needs to go to school and talk to all his friends about why Sri Lanka have been rubbish this last week. I've just, luckily enough, I could just stay at home and not actually meet anyone else. And if anyone asks, I could just pretend not that I don't like cricket. But yeah, spare thought for the Sri Lankans who have to live in the UK now that the Barmy Army have come and taken Pallekele. Thanks for joining us. Sanuda's just written, like, Sanuda started to think like me. This is exactly how we won Asia Cup 2022. Go back and talk to your mums and your dads and your uncles and your aunts about how good Sri Lanka were going into the 1996 World Cup and the kind of form that they showed, and get inspired. We'll be back after. We'll definitely be back on Thursday because we're reviewing the World Cup. As I said, we'll have Anton Roux, and then we'll be back after the game on Sunday as well. Come and join us. Tell all your friends and family about us. We will see you all then. Bye.
It's the Murali End, you're in the place to be. Analyzing players in the team. Keep a great company in the stream.
It's a Murali End. Welcome to the show. We're here when you're high. We're here when you're low. Some days you're happy, some days you wanna when happy it's we, when mad it's them. It's the same place, Murali End. Sri Lanka cricket we go represent. Go tell a friend.